here with Mark Ruckers, who is our artistic director for the productions. And today he's really going to share why we do the show and why it's a benefit to the community. So Mark, can you give us a history of the musical and your involvement with it?
Well, if I remember my accounts correct, thanks Lynette for having me here today. This year would have been our 23rd show. We've done 22 years of shows with HCO. My history goes back to the second show. I've been involved in, so that would be 21 of the 22. I've been the artistic director for the last 10. I got involved because I really enjoy theater and performing. So I started out on stage and eventually came down to a point where someone said, we're in need of a director, you might want to think about applying. And it just came to be that here I am helping out at that, with the leadership of the show.
When I speak for all of us when we say how thankful we are that you did apply, because you have just been wonderful to work with. So what do you think the community should know about why the musical is so important and why it's a benefit to the community?
The first major benefit to the community, I think, is the fact that they get a good, high-quality musical production to come and to enjoy during the summertime. And it's really nice that it also kind of coincides most of the time with local festivals and those type of things too. But they get, first off, a really nice quality piece of entertainment out of it. Secondly, it involves a great outlet and an opportunity for our friends at HCO to participate in. It's kind of an area where a lot of them wouldn't have a lot of other options or opportunities to get that chance to shine on stage and to show some of the talents they have. So it's a really nice outlet where they get to really just shine for a little bit. And I know for some of them, they really look forward to this opportunity all year long. So I would imagine this year is a real hardship not having that chance to really shine with us on stage. And another thing is the fundraising opportunity we have. HCO is one of those organizations that has their funding changes from year to year. And this kind of, I know in the history when this started, it was kind of trying to take the place of bake sales, just as a way to try to make some money for the organization to be able to have the opportunities available for our friends at HCO. So I was thinking about it earlier that it's about the fun and the funds. It's the fun piece for everyone involved, not just our friends at HCO, but the community of Winona. That get to participate in this, all the way from the carpenters that help build the sets, to the costumers, to our musicians in the pit. It just brings such a huge group of people together in so many different ways.
And Mark, you do such a wonderful job of making sure our individuals at HCO have quality roles. So I know they're all missing you very much this year. So do you have a favorite moment that has stood out to you from your many years with the musical? I'm sure you have a lot of them, but if you could pick one.
I guess the one I would pick is the second year I was directing when we were doing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And we had Troy, one of our friends at HCO, had a speaking part. And if you know anything about Troy, his smile is as big as a smile can possibly get. And we put him into a part where he had to be angry, and he was always angry with a smile. And it was just fun watching him work on the lines and work through the rehearsals and just really come to have a great time with the part. So just watching both the HCO friends and other ones just have fun with the things that they're doing on stage and really just have a real comfortable time shining in that spotlight.
And being the artistic director of this musical requires a year-long commitment, which I don't know if everybody knows. It really is year-round, and thousands of hours of work on your part. What keeps you coming back year after year?
I think it's, for myself, I mentioned the fact that I really enjoy theater, and I think that's how it all started and why it has continued. But the special thing about the show is just the way it involves everybody. It's those special connections that are built. And I think just to be able to see that happen within the theater community that participates in the show, as well as our friends at HCO, and how much it branches out from that. So it's just seeing those connections that really has meant a lot to me and has brought me back year after year.
Well, we're so thankful that you come back year after year and that you'll be here next year when we do Annie in 2021.
Thank you, Lynette.
Thank you, Margaret and Troy, for being here with our history theme to share on the history of engaging individuals into quality roles in the HCO productions. Margaret, you've been an important part of every one of our musicals since the very beginning. Can you share the history of how individuals have been integrated into this community production?
I thought about this, and I think the best way to talk about it is to talk about one individual. And the individual I want to talk about is named Tom. Tom was a young man who was in a number of our early shows, and he was a driven actor. He had a deep passion for being on the stage. He was always wanting more because he loved being part of the production so much. And by the time we got to season 8, which was The King and I, Tom's health had failed significantly, and he was oxygen dependent and very frail. And he wasn't up to doing the same kinds of roles he'd had in past years. And so the director actually invented a role for him to be a dockman who sat on a trunk at the front of stage and welcomed Anna and her son. That's a scene in the play where Anna first comes to Siam and has not yet met the king. And Tom's oxygen tank was tucked behind the trunk so the audience couldn't see it. And after that scene, when people helped him off of the stage, he stood backstage and he was so exhausted, and so his frailty just really had caught up with him, and he just indicated that he couldn't do it anymore. And someone in the group of people surrounding him said, "How would you like to be the MC? How would you like to come out and introduce the plays each night? You don't have to get in costume. You don't have to wait backstage a long time. And once you've done that and you hear the thunderous applause that's just for you, you can go." And he said the most amazing thing that has stayed with me, well, for the better part of 15 years. And it was, "I would do anything to be on the stage." And I carry that with me because I think that passion is in a lot of people who want in some way, shape, or form to be part of what they see as a really unique, exciting experience. And really, as I say, unique, it is literally a one of a kind. From the first play when we did Oliver, one of the gentlemen was perfectly cast as a bartender. And it turned out he just wanted to do it one night. And so then suddenly they had to scramble to find a bartender, but he was so happy to have that one night. To now, it has been said before that people in the audience have a hard time picking out those folks with disabilities, and we don't have that distinction. Everybody is an actor, everybody is a participant on the production crew, everybody has an equal stake in what we're doing. And so I think about Tom's words and broaden it not just from "I would do anything to be on the stage," but I would do anything to be a part of this very, very special community. And this is year 23, and so it's another special production year. So yeah, it's exciting. It's just really thrilling to see. And I look at you, Troy, and I think about, you'll be able to talk about your roles, but just from the very first act that you were part of to now just being a seasoned veteran. So I could talk forever because really there's 23 years of stories like Tom's.
Right.
And thank you, Margaret, you've been so wonderful over years, always finding ways for people to be involved. So, if they're not able to do a full show, finding volunteer roles or different things they can do. So I know we all thank you for, always thinking of our individuals. Troy, you, like Margaret said, you've grown from a chorus member originally to having quality speaking roles. I'm sure a lot of people watching this have seen you on the stage. How does it make you feel to be able to be independent on stage and have a character role?
It feels great. I really like it.
What's your favorite thing about being in the musical?
I get to speak out and get to do the real stuff.
And I'm sure now that you are a veteran cast member, do you enjoy now getting to have kind of that mentor or role model status for maybe some of our individuals who are coming in and are new?
Yes.
I know you're a great leader. What are other roles that you've taken on kind of over the years with the musical?
I'm also the safety guy.
The safety guy, yes. So what does the safety guy kind of provide for all of us with the musical?
Make sure they're not wearing their sandals.
Right, because with our musicals, there's more accessible equipment, right? So we got to be careful of
Right.
those. And I know you have helped guide people backstage where it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, thank you so much for, being a part of this all these years, and thank you to both of you who, helped to make sure that, the shows really are an inclusive and integrative community effort. So thank you so much. I'm here today with Ed and Chad, who have been a part of the musical for many years. And today we're here to really talk about the history of backstage and their friendship that has evolved through the musical. So Ed, can you share your history with the musical and why you have dedicated so many years of volunteering?
Sure. Actually, I started in 1998, which was the first show, Oliver. My wife, Paula, had been working with HCO at that time for over 10 years. And I had volunteered in other aspects, and I had already signed up for the green room, not knowing what I'd get into. And it just happened that Denny Schranz, the artistic director, and I, and Paula, and their family were all good friends. And he approached me and said, "You want to work backstage?" And I said, "Sure." I jumped at the chance. I was never the same after that, of course. I haven't missed a show since that first show. We've evolved so much over the years. When we first started, we built sets in the driveways of some of the houses. And I remember waiting for Denny Schranz to get there on Saturday morning with the floor plans, which he usually scribbled on a matchbook. And this is the way we started. Now we've evolved so much. All the special effects we've done. One of my favorites was doing Beauty and the Beast when the transformation was done live on stage. We were all part of that. Peter Pan, Mary Poppins, we've flown them. We had a car, 1,300-pound car, 13 feet long, that could turn on a dime and wave to people and bow. And now we've even got complicated projections that really include the whole audience in the show, where everybody's immersed into it. I could really say my love of live theater would be what kept me coming back, but it's really much more than that. Not only have I been a part of HCO, our shows have been a major fundraiser for HCO. But the inclusion of our individuals in so many ways has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. Set building, painting, backstage, orchestra, parades, artwork, auditions, learning songs and lines, welcoming committees, refreshment, greetings, being on stage in front of 400 people. I mean, everyone is able to find their favorite spot to be themselves. And I guess, bottom line, that's why I keep coming back.
Well, and I know I speak for all of us when we say we're so thankful that you come back year after year, and we don't know what we would do without amazing volunteers like you. So thank you for all of your years, Ed. Now, Chad, you've been a big part of Backstage as well. So how has Chad been able to have an active role backstage? And Chad, what are some of the responsibilities that you have?
I'm the left backstage manager, and I do fly rails and move sets.
And how has your relationship changed from spending time backstage during the show volunteering together to now you guys have a genuine friendship?
Yeah, that actually is going really well.
What do you guys like to do, when you're hanging out together?
Go out for pizza and ice cream.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're way overdue. We're way overdue for one, Chad.
Yeah.
And do you feel that the musical is an important opportunity to develop real friendships between individuals with disabilities and community members?
Yes.
What about you, Ed?
Actually, that's one of the most important aspects of the musical for me. It's an opportunity to see firsthand what an important part of the community our individuals are. A rewarding experience really awaits anybody that's willing to share. Trust me, I know. Chad's living proof of that.
Yeah.
Sharing your knowledge and kindness, it'll really result in the same for all individuals that you hang out with. I recommend it to anybody.
Well, thank you guys so much. I mean, you guys are the living proof of what the musical is really all about, volunteering together, building relationships, and then, spending time in the community, having a real friendship. So thank you both for everything you do for us.